ReefDudes is sponsored by Ecotech Marine and Bulk Reef Supply.
Today, we're talking calcium reactor maintenance. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. Now today we're gonna do some maintenance on the calcium reactor, and this is gonna be one of the big kind of yearly maintenances. Now yesterday I was looking at my apex and the graph, and also my pH of my calcium reactor was going up, which kind of triggered me that I was out of CO2. So today I refilled the 20-pound CO2 tank. Now this cost about 27 bucks Canadian to refill it, and this will last me about a year and a half, so it's pretty dang cheap on that front. There's some minor maintenances that you'll do throughout it. One of the most frequent ones I'm gonna say is checking the dosing pump tube. So over time, the salt water is very hard on the tubing. Same with the Versa and same with the Kimura. Every, I'm gonna say 4 to 5 months is kind of when I would replace these. So roughly 4 months or so is a good time to replace the tubing, ensure things stay fresh. And every 5 or 6 months, I would recalibrate the pH probe inside of it. Now today we are going to do the big maintenance, which means we are going to replace the CO2 tank, and we are going to rinse out, clean up the media, freshen things up, and add in some new media inside. Now it's a bit of a pain to get to mine because of all the gear that's in front of it, so it's a good thing I don't have to maintain it very often. Now that we got all the rest stuff out of the way, you can kind of see what we're dealing with and kind of what we're aiming to resolve today. So if you can see, this is only about half full now, so it's probably been about a good year since I've added some off. And again, all that is wasted media space, so we're going to refill this, we're going to clean it out. You can see how much mullum and gunk is built up there. So we're really going to give it a good rinse and get rid of all the nasties inside. So let's pull it out and get it to the sink. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is drain all the water out of it. Now on the Geo's Reef one, I have this lovely drain port, which makes it nice and easy. So let this drain, we'll get our lid off, and we will start rinsing all of our media. Rinsing things out, I'll typically use a strainer and a tap. And you can kind of just see, how much sandy stuff's already coming out of it. And if you want to be a little extra good, you can always go to rinse with some RODI. This is just RO water for drinking water. Let's go to a little quick rinse, get the tap water off, and into a clean bucket. And once you get all the rocks out, we've got all this nasty left over, which we are going to rinse out. While we're at it, we might as well clean our impeller as well, so we'll pop off the S2. Now this might be slightly overkill, but I did custom make this one with an S2 just because I wanted it to be dead silent, and it definitely delivered. Uh-oh is right! Look at all that stuff inside we got to clean out. Good thing we opened it up. Alright, so we've got our calcium reactor all cleaned up. It's time to add some new fresh media. So I'm going to add some fresh media on the bottom just because it's a little bit bigger. Then we'll preload a bunch of our old media, and then we'll cap it off and top it off with some more new media. I noticed these little white rocks throughout, and those are actually for magnesium. It's called Remag, so if you do have lower magnesium, you can use that to help dose them along with your calcium reactor. Add in some more for good measure. And we'll top it off with a little more of the smaller reborn media. And refilling, I do like to leave a few inches of space at the top, just kind of for the pH probe. Now this is for the intake that sucks into the circulation pump. So again, this sucks from the top to make sure that no rocks get sucked in. The other big important part is just to make sure that you don't get any rocks and sand and grit on your O-ring, so make sure you clean that very well before you put the lid back on. And when you're retightening them, you kind of want to work on opposite sides of it, kind of like you do when you're tightening a rim on a car, just to kind of make sure the lid kind of sucks down evenly. And just like another little random bit, there's an in and out on it, and for placement you always want to make sure the in is roughly above or close to where the recirculation pump sucks in. Now luckily I do have a little spare 5-pounder backup tank, and that kind of got me by until I get this one refilled. So now I'm going to swap back to my big one so I can ignore it for another year or two and move back in business for the long haul. So it's going to take a while for the pump Versa to refill this on its current drip rate. I might speed it up, but in the meantime we're going to take some 4 and 7 calibration fluid and just recalibrate our pH probe. And calibrated. And for the sake of completeness, we will change the Versa tube as well. As you can see, over time it kind of discolors and it gets a bit squished, so it doesn't pump as much as it should. There we go. Put our new tubing in, put a little bit of the lube on it. and we are all refreshed. The next day, everything is dialed back in, a little bit of tweaking on the bubble counter, otherwise everything is ready to roll again. So that's kind of what I do about once a year and give it just a big overhaul, you know, make sure your CO2 tank is refilled, add in your media, just to retop it off and just flush out any kind of buildup within the reactor. So one of the big things I love about calcium reactors is they are so cheap to run. You know, 27 bucks in CO2 lasts me a good year and a half, you know, maybe 30 bucks in media. And so that's what, 60 bucks for a year's worth of dosing. So they're really, really economical, and that's one of the reasons I love them. So hopefully you guys learned something if you're thinking about getting a calcium reactor, or if you have yours, you know, what you can kind of do to maintain it. As always, enjoy, hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys on the next video.